Happy Memorial Day. I think it's summer. The AC is running full blast. And it's a cozy 90 degrees out here. Well, hi, Guy. What's up, kiddo? Is it warm enough for you? Now, I know this is a little repetitious, but that tenderloin I did the last time was so good, I'm kind of doing it again. This is a pork sirloin, and I'm basically going to do it exactly like I did that tenderloin. So, pretty much the same as before. Washed it, dried it, put just a smidgen of EVOO on it to help the rub stick. Stop that. A generous coating of Larry Wolfe's Wolfe Rub Original. And this time, a touch of Lionheart's Bourbon Street for a little extra goodness. Do it all over. And when you can't get any more to stick to it, you've got enough on it. Next, this does have a little bit of a fat cap, and it has a bone in it, but I'm going to lay a few strips of bacon on it anyway. Just because I can. Thusly, same routine with the grill. Hot. I've run it up to about 500 to get a good sear on it, and I'll bring it back down from there to about 300 to 325. About an hour and a half. We'll see. Now for the baked beans. I'm making a half a recipe. So I'm starting with 2 cans of Great Northern beans, drained. I'll save the juice for something else. Surely there must be a use for it. And she calls for half of a beef sausage. But she doesn't say how big a beef sausage. So this is half of a pound of sausage. And I'm going to arbitrarily use half of it. Chopped. Chopped enough. And a 1/4 pound or so of bacon, broken up, sampled. Yep, it's safe to use. And toss this all in. Good thing I have a roof over this patio. We're suddenly getting a real frog strangler. Well, the lawn is certainly getting watered. few cloves of garlic minced up. Into the mix. And she calls for about a tablespoon, thereabouts, of dry minced onion. And since I'm too lazy to mince any fresh, that's what I'll do. A quarter of a cup of brown sugar, about 1/8 of a cup or thereabouts of molasses, about a teaspoon of liquid smoke, about 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 1/3 of a cup of ketchup. Come out of there. Good enough. And a teaspoon or so of mustard. Glop it all together and mix it up thoroughly. And now I'm putting these into sort of serving size casseroles. Can I get all of them into 2? Maybe. If I try really hard. Yes. Cool. Now these will go out onto the grill at 325 degrees or so with the roast for about 45 minutes. Meaning they pretty much need to go out there right now. Deviled eggs, gotta have them. I'm making 4 and I'm going to try not to eat all of them at once. First thing, slice them in half. Carefully. Scoop out the yolks. Very gently. About a quarter of a cup of mayo. A couple of good teaspoons of mustard. I'm using a Dijon because I like it. About a teaspoon of horseradish, quarter teaspoon of celery seed, quarter teaspoon of dill, a smidgen of ginger, a splash of lemon zest. Just because I haven't tried it before and I'm curious. A little bit of garlic powder. Just a light touch of slap your mama. Mix thoroughly. And taste it. Always taste. And when it suits you, put it all back in. And when you've squeezed as much back into them as you can, the rest of it belongs to the chef. Busy little grill today. I'm holding around 340. The roast has maybe another 20 minutes to go. The baked beans are about done. And when they come out, I'll put the corn in. And it's getting close to feeding time. Got some pan drippings this time. So I'm going to whip up a little gravy. Starting with the roux. Added a little beef stock to it. And presto, it's turning into gravy. Now it's time to take a look inside this thing. Where's the bone? Must be right there. So what's it taste like? Score it again. Tastes every bit as good as the last one. I think it's a keeper. And it's feeding time at this zoo. The pork sirloin with gravy, some complimentary bacon, heavily smoked. Stuff is delicious. A few deviled eggs. The baked beans, which are excellent. I will actually make more sauce with them the next time. And the corn on the cob. Just a nice little bit of char on it. Heavily buttered. Waiting for me to chomp into it. And of course the champagne. Happy Memorial Day.